All right, so last video we talked about day one, starting a business, the kind of mentality you have to have from day one, and deciding, if you're the only owner, well then you're the CEO, the president, the board member, all that stuff, right? But then we started talking about marketing, right? So what you have to do, because no one knows you're a business, just because you say you're a business, you have to tell the world. You have to tell them loud and proud and fast and constantly. So then, we also talked about once you're doing marketing, right, and you start making sales, when do you transition from hiring somebody to do marketing and when you do sales full time? Well, the kind of general rule of thumb is when you're doing 51% of your day is consumed by doing sales, then, and not just for a week, not just 2 weeks, you need to have like 3 months, 6 months. It needs to be a pattern, right? Because, what if you did it for 1 or 2 weeks and then sales fall off and, then you got to go back into marketing. So until it becomes a pattern, and then once you're doing 51% of the time in sales and you hire that marketing person, hopefully they're going to drum up more business, so then you can do 100% of your time in sales, and you just kind of keep moving along in that manner, right? So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today is sales and servicing. So this should be your biggest department if everyone is marketing. What I mean is when you hire a marketing person, and then you become a salesperson, you don't actually ever stop being a marketing person, because even when you're making that sale, you're still trying to cross sell them or upsell them something. So you're like, hey, I've got this product, but I also have this product or service. And so you go ahead and finish that sale, but as soon as that sale's done, or even sometimes along the way, you kind of say, hey, you may need this, you may want this, you may like this, or you don't really say you may want it or like it, you kind of like show them why they need it, and that goes the same for people in servicing or management or accounting. Everybody should be marketing. Everybody should be trying to tell the world as loud and as fast and as constantly as possible. Because the second you quit telling the world, about your product or service, people quit hearing it. And then people quit hearing it, they quit using it. They quit using it, they quit buying it, right? So sales should be your biggest department if everyone's marketing. Learn marketing and sales scripts and manuals. So, a lot of times you'll have manuals and scripts like, this is what you say, this is what you do. And it should be in your head to the point where it's just automatic. It's burnt into your brain. It's just muscle memory. It's, stuff like that. And, you should really, and then it gets to the point where not every situation that script or that manual is going to fit perfectly. So you have to learn how to roll with the punches, but you should stay along those lines, right? So, I don't know what I meant by self one-on-one. Anyways, we'll move past that. Usually I quote, I was saying, quote them. I put the cheapest. I need to scratch that out and put the most expensive and most valuable. The reason you want to start with the top of the line and the most expensive one is obviously you want the most money, you want the most revenue, and you want the most profit, but you're also giving them the most product or the most service. And then if they say, well, I don't need that product or it's too expensive, you have somewhere to go from there. You can go, oh, well, we have this other product or this other one that's cheaper and something like that. And so you can work your way down, but you can't, it's a lot harder to work your way up. If you tell someone, hey, this costs $100 and this is what you're getting, and then you go, but if you give me more money, you can have this. People just automatically in their head go, more money? Like, no, say you have a product that's $200 and they go, you know, hey, I really like that one, then boom, there you go. But if not, you can say, well, I do have this other product or this other service for this price, and they can make up their mind for themselves and go, well, you know, what's the, you know, benefit to me? Which one am I willing to pay for, you know, the most? So I'm gonna scratch that out and put, you know, most expensive option, most valuable. I put cheapest. I don't know what was in my head. Ask which one they would rather start or buy, and then ask to get started now. Right? You know, always ask someone. Do you want to go ahead and buy this today? Do you want to buy it right now? Ask for the sale. If you don't ask for the sale, people have a tendency to go, meh, okay, I'll think about it. But if you say, you know, hey, you know, do you want to go ahead and buy that today? Actually, an even better one is don't even ask people like, do you want to get it, you know, do you want to go ahead and buy this today? You just ask them, how do you want to pay for that, cash or card? And just put them on the spot, you know, and then they have to, you know, make a yes or no decision. No, I don't want to buy this right now. Be like, okay. So if they don't want to buy it. If not, know exactly when and why. So, you know, if you ask them, you know, hey, you know, you want to go ahead and buy this now, and they say no, and you say, you know, is there any reason why you don't want to buy it? And they'll start telling you. People say like, oh, well, I have to talk to my husband or wife, or you know, I'm just not sure if I really need that product or service, or it's too expensive, or I don't get paid till next week, or, you know, whatever the case may be. You find out why they don't want to buy it, and then you can overcome that objection by saying, okay, you get paid by next week, I'm gonna call you Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning next week. And, you know, so that's kind of, you know, how you overcome objections, right? So you got to find out what the objection is first before you can even overcome it. Cross-sell all products or services after, I kind of geared this more towards insurance because, you know, that's what I did, but I need to go back in and kind of gear it towards all businesses. So cross-sell all products or services after the quote or the sale. So go ahead and make the sale now. Like, you know, there's the old saying, you know, you could have two in the bush or one in the hand, one in your hand, meaning you have two birds in the bush or one in your hand. Well, if you sit there and say, hey, I got these two things you could buy, and they're not really interested in that one, but you know they're really interested in this other one, go ahead and finish this first. Make the sale, and then once that's done, then go, oh yeah, by the way, and then follow up with people. You know, like I was saying, if someone says, you know, oh, I don't get paid till next week, or, you know, I need to talk to my wife, or I need to do this or that or whatever, find out when they are actually thinking about making that transaction, and then follow up with them. If you wait for other people to take care of business, it will never get done. You have to be proactive. Take it upon yourself, have the initiative to move forward, and people actually respond better than that. And I'm not saying be pushy and be like, hey, so, you know, you're gonna buy that? Like, you know, just like be honest with the people and like have a regular conversation. They say, oh, well, you know, I can't till next week is when I get paid, or, you know, whatever. And you say, all right, that's cool. I'll call you Friday or whenever, you know, whatever that day that is, and then actually follow up with them. And I'm not talking about being like one of these used car salesman tactics and being like, hey, it's Friday, you know, if you don't buy it today, the prices are gonna go up, you gotta hurry up. No, like everyone can sense and feel the pressure tactic. You know, just be normal. Treat them like they're your family and your friends. You're trying to do the right thing by them by following up with them and be like, hey man, you might have forgot, so I'm reaching back out to you. You know, are you ready? You want to go ahead and do that now? You know, again, so that you ask them to buy it then, you're following up with them when you said you were going to, and then you're asking for the sale again. Don't just say like, you want to get the, do you want to, are you still interested? Like, no. It's, do you want to get that started today? Do you want to buy this today, right? So have a hot, warm, and cold prospect list with date, name, phone number, email, type of business, and notes. Again, I'm gearing this all towards insurance, but if someone says to you, I want that product or service, but I just can't do it till this time for this reason. Okay, that's hot. They're saying they want to do it. They just, have to wait for something. A warm one would be someone's like, I really don't know if I want it. I'll think about it or something, right? And a cold one, someone who's like, I don't want that crap. So that's a cold one. But when you follow up with them, you write their name, their phone number, their email, notes about it, whatever. And sometimes you even write notes about personal stuff that doesn't even have to do with business. Say they said something about their kids, well, I can't do it today because I got to take my kids to baseball practice, so I'll get with you tomorrow. Well, when you reach out to them and say, hey man, I usually start off with a personal one because it shows that you actually give a shit and that you try to remember something about them personally. And just be like, hey man, how'd your kids' baseball game go? Like, did they win? What's up? And then once you have your little conversation, then you can say, hey, do you want to go ahead and get that started today? Do you want to go ahead and buy it now? And then you want to contact hot to cold in that order until they buy, tell you they'll never buy, or can't get a hold of them, and until only hot leads take up your whole day. So let me kind of go through that a little more. So you want to call your hot ones first, right? They're your more likely to buy ones. So why would you waste time on a cold one when you have a hot one, right? So work on talking to your hot leads first, and then call, and keep contacting them. If they said, hey, I wanted to get that started on Friday, but then they decide, well, actually I got to wait till next Friday because of this other reason and follow up with again on Friday. If you call them that next Friday and they say, well, I got to do it the next Friday, you keep doing it, and it's called buy, die, or cry. I'm going to keep following up with you until you either buy, you cry, and not literally cry, but they're just like, please quit calling me, I hate your product and service, go away, kind of type deal, or die. Basically, you keep contacting them and they have ghosted you. There's no chance that you're ever going to get contact with them again. Then you can finally take them off the list, right? Giving warm and cold leads to the next, we'll skip over that. Some of these things I needed to, they make sense in my head, but and then so also tell about referral incentives after the product or the service. Hey, you still with me? You still alive? Am I boring you to death?
No.
All right. So tell them about referral systems. So let's say you give someone, someone buys your product, right? Or your service. And then you say, hey, since I was able to help you out with this, do you have any family or friends that I can, contact, or co-workers or whatever? And they're like, oh yeah, so-and-so I think could really, use your help and stuff like that. But also, sometimes you might even have a referral incentive like, hey, for every person that buys from me, I'll give you blah, 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 right? So you have to have some kind of referral incentive. Ask for referral of employees, family, and friends. Ask employees for referral of family and friends, and repeat all procedures with them. So basically, what I like to do is I like to market towards businesses. Why do I like to market towards business? Why do you think I like to market towards businesses? because that's where the money is. The money, the businesses are the ones who generate money, and then they pay their employees. So it's a downline approach. So go where the money's at. Go to businesses and say, hey, I have this product or service. Once you sell that product or service to the owner of the business, then you can say, hey, what about your family and friends? What about your employees? And then you can talk to their family and friends and ask for their family and friends and the employees and their family and friends. And it's just a branch, it's a network. And you just start, creating a network of people. Yeah, so, I'm reading this next part. So another thing about sales is a good thing to do is to look for other business practices in the same or other industries and departments that will help out. So, let's say, trying to think of an industry like, let's say you are working in some industry and you're like, you know what, if we had a drive-through like fast food does, that would really help sales and we could do it a lot quicker and just in, out, in, out, in, out. Always be thinking like, how can I make more sales? How can I do my job better, faster, easier, cheaper? And, sometimes looking at the leaders in your industry, how do they do it? Well, how do other industries, what practices do they have that I can implement towards me, stuff like that. And that's really not even just a sales thing. You do that for marketing, sales, service, management, accounting. You do it across the board. But, sales definitely. I'm gonna skip that part. So actually, let's hold off right there. I was gonna go into the service one, but that was a pretty good chunk just on the sales side. So let's put a pause there, and next time we come back, we'll talk about servicing, okay? All right, so subscribe, share, comment, like, guys. I have other videos about marketing and management and taxes and salaries and investments and all kinds of other, financial stuff. And I try not to just be like a boring teacher. It's like, and then you do this, blah, 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 blah. So subscribe, share, comment, like. I'd appreciate it. Thanks, guys.